You know, when when Satan can't convince anyone of a legitimate argument concerning the truth, I mean, this is the kind of thing that he gets into people's minds. Like the statement that was made on one of my videos, Romans 8:1 isn't a warning, it's a descriptural fact. I mean, that's just a foolish statement. It is a warning. Because Romans 8:13, built upon that, says that if we live after the flesh, we will die. But if we, through the Holy Spirit, put to death the deeds of the body, we shall live. Which is the same thing he said in Romans 6:15. Know you not to whom you yield yourselves servants to obey? His servants you are to whom you obey, whether of sin unto death or obedience unto righteousness. Because this is what Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 15:56, that the sting of death is sin. And it still is. Romans 6:15 says that. But the strength of sin is the law, which is what he's describing in Romans chapter 7. I mean, don't be deceived. What you sow is what you're going to reap. I mean, this is what he's describing in 1 Corinthians and 2 Corinthians, you know. 1 Corinthians 15, he says corruption doesn't inherit incorruption. Because, as he said in 1 Corinthians 15:36, the body we sow isn't given life unless it dies. Because if we're sowing to the flesh corruption, we're not going to inherit incorruption, you know? And this corruptible body is not going to be swallowed up of life if we keep on sowing to it. We are those, as Paul wrote in Philippians, are those that worship God in spirit, whose circumcision is that of the spirit and not of the flesh. You know, through faith, we're circumcised with Jesus the Christ and then filled with the Holy Spirit of promise. Because through faith in water baptism, this body of sins dies with Jesus. And that's where it's also given life with him and raised to the right hand of God. I mean, Paul describes this in Ephesians also. But in Colossians chapter 3, he says, if you therefore be risen with Christ to the right hand